So you thought you could run from me, Modest? Well, it's going to be hard to run with no legs.
Oh, God.
Oh, no. Oh my goodness. You know what? It's not even on. Hold on just a sec. Damn thing. Just. Hey, you want me to take a look at that? Would that be okay? Yeah, dude, not a problem at all. Yeah, dude, that'd be wonderful. That'd be awesome. Thanks. Thanks. All right, got this Craftsman saw here. It's kind of old, very rusty. What do I know about it? I know that it sat in my backyard for like 3 years. Other than that, I don't know anything about it. Never seen it even pop off or try to run. But it seems like it's complete for the most part. So let's start taking it apart, eh? Holy crap. I think there's fuel in there. Probably gonna have to dump that before we get too far along. Because most of this stuff's gonna be crazy rusty. Not too bad. Chain actually doesn't look too bad, just rusty, but a lot of meat left on the teeth here. I think I can clean up. So we see here, sticky, but it moves. That just means that bearing's gonna be a little on the sticky side there. Looks like it has a lot of air passage through there, so that looks good. All right, let's take this cover off. Doesn't look too bad. An auto light plug. Oh, it's loose. There's the plug. Doesn't look like it's ever been run. I guess the first thing we can do is take a look at that cylinder. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. Pull this down real fast. Doesn't look too bad. Not bad at all, actually. Let's yank off that exhaust. Ayo. Let's take off the exhaust and see how those rings look. All right, now let's see if these come off, eh? rusty. Okay. Got a couple leaves. I think the factory. All right, let's take a look here, huh? So that's inside. I think we're looking at right before the ring there. Let's pull it up just a little bit here, see if we can actually see it or not. There we go. Here is the ring. That actually looks not half bad for sitting outside for years. All right, that is all the way up. Oh yeah, oh, that piston's in good shape. Cool, all right. Let's spray a little WD-40 in there, lube it up, and then we'll check for spark. Make sure to do the on-off switch a few times. It was in the off position, so make sure that contacts are somewhat clean. All right. Oh yeah, she got spark. So, top end's looking pretty good. Quick and dirty compression test. Just put your thumb over it. Oh yeah. I think she's got compression. Okay. Let's take off this carburetor. Okay, there we go. Okay. Let's move these over here. Carburetor. Looks like we have choke. We have this cover here. Take that off. Don't need that. Throttle linkage. I think if we just take that. There we go. Oh, linkage came out of the throttle handle. Okay. Probably. Well, you don't need to take that out. Set this aside as well. It actually has the hoses still. Huh. I don't know how good they are, but it still has it. Gotta have a special tool for it. Okay. So that came off. Now that is a primer bulb. So this must be the return, or no, the return goes to the primer bulb. It looks like we may be missing the return line, so that would have been an issue. Okay, looks like the gasket's still there, and what we can do here is bring this piston up. You guys can't see, but I can see the top of the piston, the bottom of the skirt there. I'm gonna spray this all in the bottom of the crank here, because now the crank is exposed. So the WD-40 is going to get through the rod bearings and crank bearings and up through the ports. And you know what? Since we're here, spray in here too. Why not? I believe it's supposed to make contact with this, so we'll want to hit that with the wire wheel. Otherwise, I don't think this thing's turning off. But all right, let's take a peek at this. I'll move some of this to the side, and we'll see how this carburetor's looking. But we may, depending on what this needs, it may just be a primer bulb, because this thing, that thing's done. Obviously replacing that, and obviously replacing fuel lines just because we're here. But, you know, I think we may have a runner on our hands. So let me clean this up, take a look at that carburetor. All right, probably. So this is going to be the fuel pump and gasket. And it looks to be, other than very, very stiff, incredible shape. It looks very, very clean in here too. In our case, it may not need it, so. Oh yeah, she's she's stuck. All right, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna spray this down. I want you to check this out. This thing, I can't even get it to to crunch. It's that stuck. Yeah, listen to that. That's a bad one. Okay, so that never would have worked. That actually looks really, really good right there. I have a feeling these jets are just fine as well. I think it's just going to be that metering diaphragm. And I think I have one sitting right here, an old one. So that's crunchy. Definitely crunchy, but it moves. I wonder if the needles are the same height. Certainly looks like it to me, at least close enough for jazz, because that one is gone. What I'm going to do for funsies here is we're going to put this one I have just sitting around, and what I like to do is get her all set up. Well, actually, here's what we'll do. We'll test the, I'll spray this down just so it has a little something helping it out. We'll put this fuel pump back on, and we'll blow through the hose here. I believe it goes something like that. Oh yeah. All right, so here we go. Shuts off. Looks pretty good to me. Okay. Also, if you're wondering which way this little opening goes, doesn't matter. That's just so there's no pressure to air in here, and it allows that metering diaphragm to move up and down. You don't need to worry about that at all, just as long as it creates a flat surface here. But I'm looking at this, and that seems pretty good. I think the lever, yeah, that still moves. All right. We'll just check where these are at, just for funsies here. That was 1.5, 2, a little over 2, so half, 1, half, 2. Let's see here, half, 1. That was only 1. About 1.5. Probably will be rich, which is fine. Okay. Let's see what's going on with that fuel tank, eh? Okay. see what we got going on her. That looks like water got in. Smells like gas in there, but it certainly looks like water. Okay, probably can't get too much of a look here. I can't really see much either, but start kind of moving the sludge around here. Should be like another hole for the return line. I don't want to see that. Oh, found it. The return is going to be that random circle right there. So this is the 2 line, so that's where the fuel filter is going to be. We have a primer bulb, so this is going to go from the carburetor to the primer bulb, and then the primer bulb is going to go to that little circle. See if I can show you right there. So what I'll do is push that out, and I think probably for ease, I'm going to take off this mount here and just give me some more wiggle room to, you know, probably clean up in there and be able to get some new line in. So let me set you back up, and I'm going to do that. All right, so we got her in. So here's the primer bulb. Here is the line connected to it. Here's the fuel line. Obviously that'll be trimmed once we get the carburetor in. Here's what it looks like in the tank when I get a light here. So as you can see, we have the return up there. We have our fuel filter with all brand new line. Let me put this carburetor mount back on, throw on the carburetor, and then what I can do is I'll show, you know what, let's just show it, okay? I'm gonna set you guys up. I still have this out. I'm curious. So I still have you guys right there. See if you guys can see that. About like that. What I'll do is I'll just hold it. So flip it on. When you spark, let's see if it go off. So obviously the ground's not working. Probably should have done that before I put the cover back on. So that's off. So I need to take that off and clean that up. Okay, so we have it broken back down. Looking at, get a flashlight. Looking at the setup here, we have the yellow wire. I'm assuming that probably goes down to the coil down there. And what that does is it comes up to our switch here. And then the switch on that back side has a piece of metal that when this goes up, so when I do that, it makes contact with that tab. That tab appears to be connected to that grounding wire, which I believe connects to the cylinder head or something along those lines. It's somewhere that it grounds out to here, so it bypasses the spark plug. What we're gonna do is we are gonna grab the multimeter and we'll check resistance. Ideally, it should be 0 or close to it with this in the off position. What we're gonna do, let's test from this switch to, well, we know that this is gonna be continuous. So let's check from this switch here to this piece of metal, see if that makes a connection. Then we're gonna check from this piece of metal to that grounding wire, and then ideally try to figure out if any of it grounds to this cylinder head. So let me get you set up with the multimeter and we'll check resistance. All right, let's see if this is a good view for you guys. See if I can prop it up or something. So what we're gonna do is switch it to ohms. See if you guys can kind of see it. So if I do that, we have 0, so there's no resistance. That means that there's a connection. So the first thing I'm gonna test, this yellow wire, I wanna see, so I have it connected to that. I'm gonna touch it to the back of this. So it has no connection. Now let me see, I'm gonna take this out. Let's make sure, if I touch that to there, so that goes to there. If I touch it to here, so that's not making a good connection to this. So this looks like that might be the problem. Let's try this right here. That'll be easy. Seems like it's easy to get to. So, because ideally, let's take it back out. If I go to here, so here's where the grounding wire connects to it. If I touch that, so that's sort of having some problems as well. So I'm getting the sense that this thing is going to be the problem. So I think our little tab here is going to be the problem. Obviously I can get it out with this bolt there. Let me take it out. I am going to wire wheel it. Probably don't need to show you guys that, but I'm going to clean that up, make sure the connections look good, and we will try it again. All right, I cleaned this up here. We have the ohm meter there. What I'm going to do is, now we're going to see if there is a connection here. So I'm going to go to that and to this. Down there. All right, that's looking a lot better. Let's try it onto here. So if I do to there, so I'm going to go from this connection to that connection. So if I have this in the on position, we have spark, turning the off. All right, there's our definitive test. Let's get this thing back together and see if we can get her to pop off here. Rainy. Chilly. But let's see if it fires up. If it fires up, then we'll tune it on a sunnier day. We have a few days of this, but let me set you guys up. We'll get some gas in it and see if she pops. Oh yeah. Crisp, man. All right. I'm gonna have to kind of get that submerged. Should be good. Let's check this primer bulb, make sure it works. Seem to be pulling anything through the primer bulb. leaking at least. Let's take a look at, see what's going on with those fuel lines. All right, after taking the top off, don't know if you guys can see it, but finally got fuel in there, so must have just been something weird. Just needed to take the top off and look, so let's get it set back up and see if she pops off. All right, back it up a little bit. Again, just to see if she pops off. Just want to stay dry here, so got the choke on. Choke off. Yeah, the speed's too low. I need some ear protection, man. See if she oils at all. All right, we got a runner. Cool. And it actually sounded really, really good. I screwed with it for a second after I turned off the camera there, but I was able to bump up the low a little bit more and turn down the idle quite a bit. And it seemed like it was idling just fine. Again, I'm gonna let it sit. I'm gonna wait for it to get nice outside. It's pretty rainy for the next few days. What we can do though, is I'll clean up that bar. I already got some WD-40 on the chain. It was really rusty, but you know, it still moves freely. But I have some WD-40 on it just to kind of soak. We'll clean up that bar. We'll put it back. We'll put everything back. I'd like to clean this up too real quick, just to maybe even just throw a little WD-40 in. It doesn't even feel that bad now because it was really sticky, but I think once we get some bar oil flowing through, because this was flowing really, really well. It had a lot of oil coming through. So once we get that going, get it kind of oiled up, I can put the chain on, just give it a quick sharpen. It actually feels really good. You know, probably not much, maybe just a hit or two. But we'll tune it up, and then I have a couple pieces of wood. Well, we're just running through some wood and see how she does. But man, thing cleaned up really nice. It's been sitting outside for a few years now, doing who knows what. I thought it was going to be a complete rust bucket, but it runs really well, so that's cool. Awesome. All right, ended up using the Dremel. These are just really gnarly, so looks pretty good now. Should at least have some cut on them. May need more, but I also knocked down the rakers just a smidge, just a couple of hits, just to make sure that tooth grabs. But again, this is just to see if it runs. This isn't a racing saw or anything like that. So let's cut to a dry day and have some wood out there to cut. All right, we got a little bit of a windy day here, so I'm trying to use the little lapel microphone. Make sure we get some oil in here. I barely put any in for testing. All right, that should be good. Come on, Cap. So this is a cold start. See if you guys can see me. All right, primed it a little bit. Now I did tune it a smidge, so it should be able to idle. The high, I'm hoping to get it through some wood again. It has been raining a bit here, and this is some old stuff, so it probably will cut very, very fast, and it's probably more about how like weak this wood is compared to how good this saw is, but it may not, so I may show you how bad the saw is. But let me turn it on. We're going to let it warm up for a little bit. I'll give it a couple wide opens and some idle time, and then we'll run it. So let's see how she does on a cold start. Let her idle a little bit. Fogging a smidge. I think what I'm going to try to do is we're going to give her like a little, get them a turn here on the high. See if a little more fuel helps out. I like that a little bit more, huh? Turn the idle down a little bit. What we're going to do is just give it a smidge more on the low, and I think we'll be good here. About 8 turn. Here we go. That's good to me. Okay. check the seals real fast. So this is checking that crank seal. You guys can see it a little bit. That sounds good. Check this one. That one usually always leaks. Car might be leaking a little bit too. Seems well lubricated, huh? Be nice if it had a chain brake. I'm sure if you just stick it in a piece of wood, it stops. Nice strong idle, huh? It's the, hold on. Yeah, cool. So the crank seal on this side's leaking a little bit. That's where the inconsistent idle's coming from. Other than that, seems like it cuts okay. I don't know if I would want to really sell it with that crank seal leaking like that. I mean, I guess I could. Seems like it does okay. It's just without the chain brake, I don't know. Most guys don't know what the hell they're doing with that, so take my hearing protection out. But yeah, no, she sounds good. She looks good. Oil is awesome. Cool. I wonder if we should, I think I have some seals. I should take a look and see if I have the right ones, but I'm like, why not, man? Thing runs really well. Chain seems like it cuts. I mean, again, very, very soft wood here, but no, it seemed pretty good. Seemed like it liked warming up a bit. Probably needs some more tuning, but again, the idle side, and that's probably where it's bogging down as you're cutting through. It's probably just sucking some air through that crank seal. Let's go give it back. All right, here you go. Looks like everything's in top-notch order for you. Oh, dude, thank you so much. So, where were we? Oh, yes. Oh.